Here is another clip from the Handel Ossoff debate. Remember, we're 2 weeks away from this election in Georgia 6th. And Handel, once again, showing not a terribly strong candidate. And they don't seem to have much to attack Jon Ossoff on. Here is, this is really sort of, I mean, the idea of where Karen Handel goes with this is, I mean, talk about a party that is bereft of even talking points. Play this.
Ms. Handel, your opportunity for a question from Mr. Ossoff.
Thank you. So, John, I guess what I would like to know is exactly who are you going to vote for in this election?
Is that the question? Okay. Well, I think Secretary Handel is referring to my residence, which is a matter that I've addressed transparently throughout this campaign. I grew up in the 6th Congressional District. I was born and raised in Georgia, unlike Secretary Handel, who was born and raised in Washington, D.C. I live across from Emory University to support my fiancée while she finishes medical school. I'm proud to be supporting her career, even if I take a little bit of political heat for it. Secretary Handel, born and raised in Washington, D.C., seems to have spent much of her career determined to return. And it's typical of a career politician, I think, to focus on something like this, rather than the matters of concern to the people of a 6th district. How are we going to attract more jobs and investment to this community? How are we going to make sure that young people who are getting educations for the jobs of the future in our tech sector are able to succeed and apply their talents here at home? These are the questions of concern to the voters of a 6th district.
Actually, it is of concern to the people of the 6th district.
Pause it for 1 second. Let me just, now, there's a lot of pablum in that response, but from a political standpoint, to basically turn around her question, get to say, I'm supporting my fiance. Right. I am, who's going to school in state. I grew up in this district and you did not. You're an interloper. You desperately want to get back to Washington, D.C. because you're a classic, establishment style politician, whereas I'm just a guy who's just come from the district. To be able to include all that stuff and to say you're just bringing this up is just indicative of you're the politics as usual and somehow I'm some type of renegade. To be able to bring all that up in one answer, I mean, this is a good politician. The guy is a good politician. And here's where Karen Handel has to go, which is, I don't know, pretty stunning. I don't know how old you have to be for this to even make any sense, what she's saying here. But I put this with like that old Chicago-style politics thing that nobody really understood what they were talking about. But here's Karen Handel's response.
Questions of concern to the voters of a 6th district.
Actually, it is of concern to the people of the 6th district that you do not live in our community. And while I was born in Washington, D.C., I didn't get to pick where I was born. But the fact is, I've been in Georgia for almost as long as you've even been alive. You might live just 5 minutes outside of the district, but your values are nearly 3,000 miles away in San Francisco.
I love the fact that she has to read that thing. It's obviously a prepared statement. She is reading like your values are 3,000 miles away in San Francisco, which means that either one, it's like you are just so infused with rice-a-roni that I don't want to talk about it, or two, you're gay, even though you're going to, you're living with your beard fiance, apparently.
And does your boyfriend live in the district, John? Fiance at school, boyfriend in the district. Is that what you're saying?
Or, I mean, it's pretty.
Oh, you're a gay guy that makes food delivery apps. Anyways.
I mean, I guess it's like, you got Nancy Pelosi values, but she doesn't want to, I don't know.
I think that whole line
she mentions Pelosi later in the.
Yeah, that's the angle, but I think that whole line of attack is so bizarrely out of touch. And I mean, to put a fine point on it, we were talking about it earlier, I think if you ask people, not just younger people, just what San Francisco has become in the parlance, it's like, oh, he's getting money from tech industry people? Okay.
Well, the interesting thing is that San Francisco thing was a holdover from a different era that was not only anti-gay, but an era where Washington wasn't so toxic of a brand. And so, I don't know. If Ossoff doesn't win this election, that election, you couldn't win it. Because she is bad and he is good in terms of just being a candidate.
Or controlling variables.
She's a bit of a glum bucket.
What a glum bucket you are.
I would love to see Theresa May. It'd be so great if Jeremy Corbyn represents San Francisco values. Make sure he represents whole, not San Francisco.
Hey, Sam Seder here. Folks, you probably heard about the whole YouTube advertiser apocalypse. Well, we're suffering from it too. We need your help. If you want to keep this show alive, you want us to be able to still put out clips on a regular basis, head over to our Patreon page. Here's the link right here or down below there. And just give us a couple bucks a month and support this program. Really appreciate it.